I'm sorry if I seem uninterested, or I'm not listening, or I'm indifferent.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be showing you how I do this full glam cut crease using the Inglot pigment and the James Charles palette. So if you'd like to know how to create this look, keep on watching. First up, I'm taking the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 1, and I'm just carving out the brow, then applying it all over to the lid with my Morphe M224 brush, then repeating the same step on the other eye. And then after I've applied that to the entire lid, I just take a little buffing brush. I got this from like eBay ages ago, so I'm not too sure what it's called or even where it's from. I just know it's from eBay, but I love it. It's a perfect size just to buff out all that eyeshadow base. I did make sure to include what brushes I'm using in this tutorial for you guys. So today we are using the James Charles palette by Morphe. As you guys would know if you follow me on Instagram, it's a staple in my kit. I'm just obsessed with the formula and there's lots of colour variety. So we are going in with the shade Mary with a M506 brush, and we're starting from the bottom of the lid and we're working our way up throughout the crease, and then taking a Morphe E10 brush to buff that shade out. So we are using the shade Mary as a transition shade, that way the darker colour blends out nice and smoothly and there's no harsh lines. And of course just repeating the same step to the other eye. Then we're taking the shade No Beans, which is a nice chocolate brown colour, and packing that all over the lid with a Morphe brush that I did get in a travel kit a while ago, and it has no name. I'm pretty sure I did see it still on their website the other day, but it's just, yeah, like a black and white brush, I don't know. And then we're just taking the Morphe M506 brush to blend that shade out. Now for my favourite bit, which is cutting the crease. This is the first time using the Inglot gel liner in the shade 94. I'm obsessed. It's one of those products I wish I invested in a long time ago. So I just mixed that in with the Inglot Duraline so it's a nice and smooth consistency. Once again, this brush has no name, but it came in one of those cheap 24 packs I bought years and years ago. After applying the liner, we are taking the Inglot pigment in shade 119 and pressing that into the liner whilst it's still tacky.
I'm sorry if I seem uninterested, or I'm not listening, or I'm indifferent. Truly, I ain't got no business here, but since my friends are here, I just came to kick it. But really, I would rather be at home all by myself.
Then I'm just taking Mary and the shade Benny on top of that and just diffusing the cut crease on the outer edge just to add more depth, and then we are blending that out seamlessly. And to do this, we're just using the Morphe 506 brush. Then taking a makeup wipe and cleaning up all the fallout, as well as using it to carve out the edge of our eyeshadow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah.
Now going in with the NYX matte liquid liner, and I'm just lining the lash line. Then I'm going in with my Morphe 165 brush to create a wing. This brush is so precise, it's amazing for wing liner, in the waterline, or even for brows. For the base, I'm using the Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer on a foundation brush, and I'm just applying that all over the face. I love using this primer for all of my dry skin clients, or even for my clients that have just normal skin, but it's amazing to create a luminous, silky look. For foundation, I'm taking my all-time favorite, the NARS Radiant Foundation in the shade Vanuatu, and applying that all over the face with a foundation brush, and then buffing it out with a damp sponge.
Not there in the kitchen with the girl who's always gossiping about.
And now we're carving out the top of our brows with the foundation on a Morphe M224 brush. That way when we go back to them later, they're all carved out for us. I like to do my brows last, that way there's no fallout or anything.
What am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I can't wait so we can break apart the...
And I'm now taking the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Neutral and applying that under the eyes, to the T-zone, Cupid's bow and on the chin with my Morphe M224 brush, then blending that out with a damp sponge.
I'm sorry if I seem uninterested or I'm not.
And after that, I'm taking the same Morphe brush to underline the wing liner with the Tarte concealer, so it's nice and sharp, then blending it out with the Morphe M335 brush, also using that brush to blend away any spots the sponge didn't.
Don't dance, don't ask, I don't need a boyfriend, so you can't go back. Please enjoy your party, I'll be here. Somewhere in the corner under clouds of marijuana with this boy who's hopping.
And now for cream contour, I'm taking the new Huda Beauty Tantour contouring cream in the shade Light on my Real Techniques pointed foundation brush and applying that down the sides of the cheeks to the outer perimeter of the forehead, down the nose and to the chin, and then I'm just buffing that out with my Zoeva 110 face shape brush.
So we can break apart the hit me if I seem a little unimpressed with this. An antisocial pessimist, but usually I don't mess with this. And I know you mean only the best, and your intentions aren't to bother me, but honestly I'd rather be.
Now to set the base into place, I'm using the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC20 on the M438 brush, and now with this shade I'm just using it to highlight the under eyes, the T-zone, the center of the nose and the Cupid's bow as well as the chin. And now with the shade NC42 on my Morphe E3 brush, I'm applying that to the outer perimeter of the face. For bronzer, I'm using the MAC Gimme Sun, so I'm applying that first, and then on top of that I'm using the Hoola by Benefit on my Morphe E4 brush and applying the bronzer to all the places we cream contoured.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I can't wait so we can break apart the.
Now for the eyeshadow on the under eyes, we're using the shade Mary on the Morphe E36 brush and then buffing that out with the Morphe 506 brush and doing the same step with the shade No Beans. Now for liner in the waterline, I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio liner in Strong Black and I'm applying that with my Morphe 165 brush. And don't forget, while you're doing this step, to let your client have time to blink so their eyes don't get watery and irritated. Now my lovely client has amazing full brows, so you don't really need to touch them that much. I'm just taking the Morphe Brow Gel in Translucent and brushing that through the brows, and then going in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Ebony just to fill in any gaps and to give them more structure.
I'm sorry if I seem uninterested, or I'm not listening, or I'm indifferent.
And we're now moving on to highlight. So we're using the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in the shade Molten Gold, and using the M501 highlighting brush by Morphe, and applying that to the top of the cheekbones, to the forehead, down the center of the nose, and to the Cupid's bow.
So you can't go back, please enjoy your party, I'll be here somewhere in the corner under clouds of marijuana with this.
I'm not fussy with mascara at all. I just pick up anything, as I use a disposable one anyway. I just use it to coat the lashes so they blend in well with the false ones. The best way to do this is just to get your client to look down, that way it's easier for you to apply.
What am I doing here? Oh, yeah.
And whilst we're waiting for the mascara to dry, we're just going to move on to lips. Using a disposable lip applicator, I'm taking the shade Whirl by MAC to line the lips. I like using a darker shade on the outer edge of the lips and then going in with a lighter shade and applying that all over the lips. For this, I'm using the Stila liquid lipstick in the shade Caramellow.
So we can break apart the hit me if I seem a little unimpressed with this, an antisocial pessimist, but usually I don't mess with this.
To make sure our lips look perfect, I go in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard to make sure the lipstick is nice and tidy and we have a sharp and crisp edge. And then just to buff that out, I'm using the brush that has no name because I got it so many years ago, but I'm pretty sure it's from eBay. For lashes, I'm using the Kiss Cosmetic lashes in the style AMORE. This is one of my favorites for both myself and my clients. So I just go in with the Duo Lash Glue in Clear, apply that to the lash band and let it sit for a few minutes so it's tacky. And then I take my tweezers and apply the lash directly to the client's lash line. Don't forget to size up your lashes before applying, as you may need to cut them to suit your client's eye. I have been living for blush lately, and I'm taking the MAC Extra Dimension blush in the shade Fox Shore and applying that to the apples of her cheeks using the Morphe 510 brush. Now once the glue is all nice and dry, I apply more mascara, that way the natural lashes are nice and blended with the false ones. And now going back in with the NYX liquid liner in matte and touching up the eyeliner and applying that to the lash band so it's nice and blended and you can't see any glue. Now to set all the makeup in place, I'm using the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. So that is it for today's full glam tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it for you. Let me know what videos you'd like to see next, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video.
Somewhere in the corner under clouds of marijuana with this boy who's